Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So horror movies tend to have some terrible deaths and fates. However, some are extra miserable and also kind of odd. Here are some examples of those particularly bad ones. The Waxification, House of Wax. House of Wax is a movie about a group of teens that end up in a small, off-the-map town and are hunted by serial killers. I always knew it as the horror movie with Paris Hilton. The first two characters to enter the town are Wade and Carly, who are there to replace a broken car part. The mechanic has them head to his house to get the part. Once there, Wade snoops around a bit when suddenly he is attacked. He is sliced and stabbed before being knocked out with a kick to the face. Wade survives this though, but might wish that he hadn't, as he is then dragged to the killer's workshop. Apparently the killers make wax sculptures for the local museum, but they use real humans to do so, and Wade is next. He starts to come to in the workshop, but is immediately injected with some sort of tranquilizer that prevents him from moving, but lets him remain conscious and feel everything that is happening to him. The killer then stitches Wade's wounds, followed by waxing and ripping out his facial hair. Finally, Wade is sat in the metal device before scalding hot wax sprays all over his body. You might be thinking that this is a terrible way to die, having boiling hot wax coating your body before it encases and suffocates you. But Wade is actually still alive. Apparently the device around his face kept his eyes and nose clear of wax. We then see later in the film, as one of his friends investigates the wax museum, that Wade was put on display. As the friend gets a closer look, Wade's eyes are visibly darting around as he releases muffled groans. The friend tries to remove the wax coating, but it takes Wade's skin with it, revealing bone underneath. Before the friend can continue any further, the killer shows up and attacks her too. The friend is able to dodge the attack, but Wade takes a knife to the face, losing part of his jaw. And then the entire place burns to the ground. The end. The Finishing Feast, The Farm. This is a pretty disturbing movie that feels like it was made by a PETA extremist. It's about a young couple that gets kidnapped from the hotel they're staying in, only to then wake up in cages on a human farm. All the people running this farm wear masks of various animal faces, such as pigs, cows, and sheep, and they keep humans they abduct in cages to eventually be slaughtered for meat. It's worse for the kidnapped women there though, as they're also, how do I put this without getting demonetized, made pregnant in order to produce milk that can be harvested, and having their babies taken when only a little bit more meat is needed to complete an order. And once a woman can no longer give birth, they're then killed just like the men. While almost any caged human here could make this list for their death, it's the main character, Nora, we will be looking at. She gets kidnapped and thrown into a cage like the rest, but is then rescued by her husband Alec, who managed to escape somehow. He is suffering from a head injury, and as they attempt to flee after getting spotted, he gets caught in a bear trap and Nora has to leave him. She then watches from a distance as the farmers crush Alec's head with a big rock. After some more running and narrow escapes, she's able to free a previous cellmate and steal the keys to a bus. As Nora and her newfound friend board the vehicle and start it up, they turn around to see it's full of masked cannibals. The closing scene is both of the women being cooked alive and served on a table as the farmers reenact the Last Supper. Trapped in a 3-second time loop, The Endless. The Endless is an odd movie about two brothers, Aaron and Justin, that escaped a cult when they were young, only to revisit it about a decade later. The cult in question presents itself as more of a friendly camp that offers a place for people to make a home. However, there's also some mystical force in the wilderness of the area that they don't fully understand. At one point in the story, Justin attempts to leave. However, his car battery is dead, so he walks to a nearby trailer for assistance. That's when the true power of the mysterious force is revealed, as he discovers multiple people trapped in never-ending time loops. That's when Justin attempts to get back to the camp to save his brother who wants to stay. The people in the loops already have it bad enough, but Aaron finds one that's just a bit worse. When he goes looking for Justin, he finds a tent with music that is repeating itself every 3 seconds, and his scream getting continuously cut off. As he peers through the plastic window, he sees a man in a chair who gets up and attempts to flee, only for a squishing sound to be heard before he is teleported back to the seat to do it all over again. This guy spawns in the chair, has 3 seconds to live, and it's then repeated over and over and over again. forever. And the guy knows he's stuck in the time loop, so this man is forever getting popped like a balloon every 3 seconds of his life, and he's fully aware of it. The digestion, the Borderlands. This movie's ending is really bizarre and unexpected, so take this as your spoiler warning. Final Prayer, originally titled Borderlands, is a movie about a small team of investigators sent to confirm if a reported miracle is credible or not. The entire movie is seen through the footage the team is recording via cameras they install in the buildings or have mounted on themselves. Things start out simple enough, with most of the team skeptical and believing the local priests of the church to have simply faked the events they claimed have happened. But the longer the team stays, the more oddities they start to discover, from strange noises to moving objects to the priest jumping off the roof. Eventually, they discover the church was built over a pagan temple. They attempt to purify the grounds with an exorcism, but are interrupted by a mysterious force that knocks the team down and cuts the power. When the two remaining members of the team, Deacon and Gray, come to, they realize another team member is missing and hear their voice from the labyrinth-like catacombs below, so they head down after them. They want to rescue their friend now, instead of going for help and potentially letting their friend die while they're away. As they travel the maze-like structure, they find another one of their friends wandering further into the tunnels and ignoring their cries, so Deacon and Gray go even deeper. Their current path eventually gets smaller and smaller while also getting more wet and smelly. Eventually, they're at a dead end as the exit seems to be sealed off, so they turn around to head back the way they came from, but the entrance is now closed as well, as if the walls closed in. The slime on the floors and the walls then starts to burn through their clothing and then through their skin. Gray freaks out and sobs while Deacon is in shock. What happens here is that they're basically stuck in a digestive system and are consumed alive. The test subject's Overlord. Overlord is a Second World War movie. Here, a small team of soldiers are the only surviving members of a unit sent to disrupt a German communications tower. One of the soldiers, Edward, avoids getting detected by hiding in a truck full of the corpses of his fellow soldiers. That truck just so happens to be making a delivery of dead bodies to a secret laboratory underneath the communications tower. Once inside and the coast is clear, Edward takes a look around. He first finds the foreign people chained to the walls within small rooms flailing around. Next he sees a room with pits of black tar with large sacks hanging from the ceiling that have several tubes stuck to them. He doesn't pay much attention to them at first until one of them starts moving and a hand pushes against the side. He cuts it open to find there was a human soaking in the goop inside. Then he hears a French woman begging for mercy. As he tracks down the source of the sound, he slides back a curtain to reveal the woman, and it's only a head and a spine. However, she's still able to speak and even aware of her surroundings, as her eyes turn to look at Ed. Apparently the Nazis wanted to make an immortality serum, but used enemy soldiers for the testing so their own people wouldn't have to suffer. So those were some of the worst fates in horror movies. Let me know which ones you would have included. As always, I hope you liked it and that I get to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.